Welcome back. We continue to look at the 2019 Matric results. The Western Cape branch of the teacher union SADTU says that whilst it welcomes the 2019 Matric results, it's concerned with the high dropout rate of learners. The province has achieved the fourth highest pass rate, with 82.3% of its learners passing their NSC examinations. To help us unpack some of these issues, I'm now joined in studio by SADTU's Secretariat Officer, Xolani Fakude. Thanks so much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Peter. Let me greet you and let me greet the viewers as well.
All right. So yesterday we saw a jubilant Minister of Basic Education, Angie Motshekga, revealing the highest ever pass rate. And I wonder what you as SADTU, your reaction to the announcement and the results in general.
Well, Peter, the fact is that any improvement in the system is good news. I mean, it spells good news for the country as a whole. However, we are welcoming the results with a 3.1% improvement with a bit of caution. And that caution comes from the fact that we saw quite a drop in terms of the enrollments for gateway subjects such as mathematics, for technical subjects and so forth, and that bothers us. I mean, from 2018 to 2019, enrollments in just mathematics alone, we lost over just about 14,000 students. So that tells you that there could be a particular problem. But now SADTU has been saying it all along, that the issue here, Peter, we should not necessarily have this halapalu when the matric results come and then it becomes this beauty pageant between provinces. No, we should go right into the deep end of the issues. And one of those is that there are dynamics that directly affect the kind of educational outcomes. And that is why you even see the varying results from the provinces. And that is why we have been saying, I mean, we are speaking, just me and you right now, that there are no less than 16 schools that got 0%. Now, when you look at those schools, where they are located in particular, there is a direct resource kind of a consequence, and in terms of how then their results come out as the outcomes. And we see that as a trend. So what we are saying, therefore, is that we need to look into the deeper part of the issues, and then let us analyze it, and let's collaborate as multiple stakeholders for us to have these improving results.
As teachers, you would be advising and helping students to put their subjects together for their matric. And I wonder if the motivation is to try and put together the least taxing collection of subjects to get through, because getting through becomes the most important thing rather than actually getting an education.
And that is where the problem comes, and that is what SADTU has always been said, that is why then we should not be obsessed necessarily with the statistics, but it should be about what kind of South Africans are we actually producing, what kind of South Africans is the system producing. And that is where we should be concerned. I mean, we are seeing right now a debate that is unfolding in the country about decolonializing the education curriculum, for instance, but then now we have the home languages. Whilst we are trying to get them to be languages of academia, preferably, because when we speak of mathematics, for instance, most students will always be disadvantaged because they're not necessarily being taught in their home language. Now we are seeing a stagnating pass rate in terms of their home languages, and that concerns us because it then spells quite a bleak future moving forward when we say we want to turn our African languages into languages of academia.
Let me ask you this. What is it that the rest of the continent is doing that we can learn from? Because these are not new challenges, and yet across the continent we're seeing high levels of achievement in mathematics, in science. They also don't have laboratories, also don't have resources, don't have electricity, but somehow they're getting through and doing high-level mathematics. What is the difference here?
Well, look, the fact of the matter is that, yes, you are correct. That is quite an interesting kind of an example that you are making. But then we've got very, very varying dynamics when it comes to South Africa. I mean, we are probably one of the countries with the highest rates of violence in schools. I mean, we're speaking about gender-based violence, for instance. In our case as a country, when a teacher goes to school in the morning, these days and age, you don't even know whether you will come back alive or not. Now we are saying that changes the reality of the teacher in the classroom quite drastically, and yet you still want to attract a teacher with a skill, with a relevant education. And that is why, Peter, we've always called for increased parental involvement. We've always said that education is a societal matter. Let us all be involved in it. So that then presents those kind of differences in the dynamics, part of it.
All right, so we saw something interesting this year. The Education MEC SABC for Gauteng posted on social media the throughput rate. We're getting a sense now of just how many children are dropping out from entering grade 1, and we believe around about grade 9 that they start to drop off quite significantly. And I just wonder what your thoughts are on this dropout rate and what it actually means.
Well, it concerns us. Yes, you are correct that, I mean, if we have roughly around 1 million grade 1s entering the system in 2008, and then you had about 600,000 full-time, 170 or so 1,000 part-time, it tells you that indeed we have had quite a significant dropout rate. But however, that is improving slightly if you look at the trends throughout the years. But now what SADTU is saying, this is where it matters the most, is that perhaps let us look at the school environment differently. Let us also focus on the sports, arts and culture as well. When we talk about the holistic development of an individual, we are aware as teachers that not every learner that we teach is going to end up being a doctor or a lawyer. Some actually need opportunities in the culture space, arts, sports, etc. And that is why we are calling for, as a union, that let us focus on developing an individual holistically. Let it not just be about putting out, then looking at the statistics, then is the announcements at the end of the year, is then provinces competing against each other. No, we're saying that let us look at it holistically in a collaboration kind of a sense.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck, and let's hope that the trend continues, but also that we decrease the fallout rate and the matric passes continue with the quality of subjects. Thank you so much indeed for your time and joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, that's where we're going to leave that for the time being. We'll be back at the top of the hour with your headlines as we begin to tell your story right here on SA Today. Stay with us.